The Baltimore Ravens safety in the news for not the best reasons. TMZ reporting and court documents showing that at some point a month ago or so, Earl Thomas's wife confronted him with a gun, a loaded gun, and pointed it to his head when she and two friends busted in on Earl Thomas and his brother with women. And anyway, it's a complicated story, but his wife was arrested. Earl Thomas was not arrested, but there are reports the Baltimore Ravens may use the incident to see if they can get out of the final years of Earl Thomas's contract. There's further reports that Earl Thomas clashed with teammates, freelanced too much, got crossways with teammates because of that, wasn't as prepared as he should be. All right, you two guys, former NFL stars. Marcellus, would you blame the Baltimore Ravens if they use this latest incident as an excuse to exit their relationship with Earl Thomas?
Yeah, I would blame them. I think they would be wrong to do it. Look, cheating on your wife, it's immoral, but it's not illegal. So you look at a situation like this, it would be a great reach to say that Earl Thomas and his issues with his family will be issues with his football family. That's the only logical connection I can see a general manager or owner making. You don't take care of your own family, or you do this to your own family, what would you do to your football family? But that's a tremendous reach. I'm gonna just tell you how it is in the locker room and being a player rep for 9 of 10 years. And I was privy to work with our security department, ex-FBI, the general manager, the owner, as well as being in the locker room around the other 52 guys when I knew their indiscretions. And there's 3 levels to this. There's the incident that the team knows about, and then there's the incident that the team knows about that now the entire public knows about. And they usually get 3 different punishments. And in this situation, because we went to the full extent that everyone knows, and think about it, it's been a month or 2. So did Earl Thomas even communicate with the Ravens before? Is this just outside public pressure, or is this really at its core a true issue on this team? But I would blame the Ravens if they took it to the point where they didn't want Earl Thomas anymore just because of this incident.
I don't blame them from the business side of it, and here's the reason why. And I know Marcellus, but here's the reason why I'm not going to blame them. Because they're already trying to unload them. It sounds as though that the reports are saying that they already are trying to figure out a way to part ways and sever ties with the player. So when you look at what Earl's situation is, I will say it's very irresponsible, whoever leaked it out and put it out there from the Ravens organization, that this is what they were intending to do. I will hold them culpable for that. But for them to try to figure out within the parameters of the contract, is there a way they can get from underneath $20 million or possibly $10 million of dead cap space if they were to part ways with somebody that they don't want? On the business side of it, no, I don't blame them for that.
Yeah, I'll say this, as I have mixed emotions because Earl Thomas's wife got arrested. She escalated this thing to the point of criminality, and Earl Thomas is being blamed for that. But where I will defend the Baltimore Ravens and what I know about employers is that when you're getting paid a great sum of money and you have a high place of responsibility, what they like are people, men and women, who have a very responsible, stable personal life because they also believe, and I think there's scientific data proof, that if you're in a stable relationship, if you're in a family, married, kids, you're actually more productive, more reliable, a more responsible employee. And so I think the Ravens are looking at this and going, wow, we had a guy that wasn't assignment sound, freelance, clashed with some of our players. Again, the spark between he and his wife, they said, it started with an argument over his drinking. And so to me, this is the Ravens saying Earl Thomas handling his personal life irresponsibly is leaking over into his professional life and being irresponsible there. And now I think we have a more complete understanding of why the Seattle Seahawks moved on from Earl Thomas. And I think now we have an understanding why when he got hurt and was giving everybody the finger as he exited the field, that Earl Thomas, a bit irresponsible in his personal life, chaotic in his personal life, and it bleeds over into his professional life. I say this, and I just want to repeat, Earl Thomas's wife did the criminal acts, and she is mostly to blame. But eventually, who you partner with says a lot about yourself as well, and I know both of you guys know that because you're living that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you say it's leaked into his professional life, what's going on in his personal life, or it bled into it. That must be a slow drip, a hella slow drip. The dude was in the Pro Bowl last year. They can say whatever they want to clean up the money, and now they have an out. But in reality, Earl Thomas was out there balling. Maybe not to his heights, but certainly enough to be one of the recognized special players in the NFL last year. So if we want to really start sweeping the locker room for adulterers, all you're going to be left with is a punter and a backup center and maybe a couple other guys to hold some water bottles. Like, let's not do this because the Hall of Fame is littered with adulterers. I don't believe that it connects to the other. I've seen too many great players who were a mess as a person, but were a beast as a player, and they hit that switch. So for whatever happens in his personal life, I don't have much material evidence to say that it's ever affected the future Hall of Famer in Earl Thomas. So I think it opens Pandora's box. If we want to say we're going to come down with a heavy hand on you, Earl Thomas, there's going to be a lot of other guys in that locker room very nervous if that's going to be the new standard.
All right, stick around. We're going to talk about another great defensive player, Jadeveon Clowney. Should the Seahawks still want Jadeveon Clowney? He's come down on his contract demands.